Congress certified Donald Trump as the 2024 presidential election winner in a peaceful proceeding today. That's in stark contrast to the violence that erupted during the Electoral College certification process 4 years ago today. Fox 4's Sean Rabb is live. Sean.
As you say, Clarice, no challenges, no controversy, and the process took only about 30 minutes, not like the 15 hours and a fight for the Capitol 4 years ago. And, you know, it could have been personally difficult for the Vice President Kamala Harris to preside over the proceedings today, but she did her job as required by the Constitution, certifying the president-elect as the winner of the 2024 election.
Mr. Speaker and members of Congress,
Vice President Kamala Harris graciously carried out her duty as presiding officer of the Senate, overseeing the count and certification of the Electoral College votes in the general election. Constitutional law attorney David Cole.
I'm sure it'll be a bittersweet moment for her. That's part of this process, though. I mean, it's remarkable that every 4 years in a country as wealthy and as powerful and strong and with so much vigorous debate as we have about issues, there's a peaceful transfer of power. And part of that is the pageantry, the drama.
Notably absent, the drama of political violence that marred this process 4 years ago when Mr. Trump would not concede defeat to Joe Biden and Trump supporters stormed the Capitol.
And that was a bad day. I mean, that's obviously not the way it was supposed to work, and we seem to have moved past that.
Applause folded across the chamber as each state's votes were counted. And then,
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Texas seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 40 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 40 votes for vice president.
Cheers from Republicans in the Texas delegation as the Lone Star State's electoral votes went to Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance. Harris smiled tightly as the chamber erupted with Mr. Trump's total of 312 electoral votes. Later, telling reporters, Americans should be able to take for granted there will be a peaceful transfer of power, adding
that America's democracy is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. Every single person, their willingness to fight for and respect the importance of our democracy. Otherwise, it is very fragile, and it will not be able to withstand moments of crisis. And today, America's democracy stood.
And the president-elect, Donald J. Trump, expected to address America tomorrow from his compound in Florida as he's been building his cabinet, preparing to return to the White House.